time is running incredibly short, and as you can see, we have the asteroid coming in very close. We have 77 cycles left, and we're going to make progress today towards getting this meteor blaster firing as fast as we can so that we can do some damage to Demolior. In between the last episode and this one, I did a little bit of cleaning up here, put in another stable for one of our lums, and I put in another node. We have water going to it, and I also ran some cooling loops. I took the cooling loop we had and ran it a little farther, just to help keep the heat in here distributed, because these things were actually too cold to grow, so this is working pretty well now. I still am not quite sure how many lums I can get into a area here with just one of these vines. I think that we're probably going to need a few of these, but I also don't know how far these things will extend, so I just put one kind of in the middle of each of these rooms. I'm going to let it grow out so I can see what the maximum distance for it is, and then we can make some changes to it later, maybe come up with a better design for the future. But for now, that's keeping them fed, mostly. It's not quite enough food because it's growing slow, but we are getting it enough so that they don't starve, which means they're producing some peat for us. I also... Oh, this room here, I was making some changes and I messed it up. So I need to put in one more tile somewhere just to make this 96 so it's a stable again. I was digging up all the peat that I could find everywhere. I went through here, I went down here, and I dug up a bunch of peat to get us enough so that we can start making food again, because we were very, very, very low on food. So I shut down making the veggie poppers because I don't have the peat to run those. But we have enough peat for now just to keep these things running for a little bit. It's not going to last forever, but we need to focus on other things. So the other thing I worked on is up here at the top where our meteor blaster is. I just kind of finished off a connection here to space. So I wanted to have a liquid lock so that we would have the gas not escaping. That way we could have oxygen build up here so that we could start doing some work up here in an environment that would be all right. We have Atmos suits, so we wouldn't need the oxygen, but I just don't want it to be just leaking into space. You know what I mean? So what we want to do to begin here is we want to get a plant pulverizer in place. So I'm just going to put one of these down because I'm not quite sure how it works. I have not used one, and so we're going to go like that. I'm not sure, does this need power? Doesn't look like it does. And then we're going to do a liquid pipe out of here into our reservoir here so we can just determine how much of this we need to turn slime into phyto oil. So if you remember, we're going to use slime and we're going to turn it into phyto oil. We're going to combine that with we're going to combine the phyto oil down here with bleach stone in an emulsifier to make biodiesel. The biodiesel we're going to combine with refined metal and fertilizer or peat to make the intracosmic Blastshots, and our goal is to make 96 of these. So we need 192, so 19 tons of biodiesel. So we have to figure out how much slime we need to do that, and if we don't have enough slime already, we need to find a source for some, and we have some on the map. Fortunately, this map has some slime pockets, so that makes it a little easier. We don't have to get into petroleum to get things going. So I don't even know if we have oil down here. We may need to go to another asteroid to get oil, so thankfully biodiesel is going to be an option. So we're going to try to get a biodiesel production set up, and then we're going to work on getting enough refined metal made and fertilizer so that we can get enough of these made to hopefully fire them off in the time that we have left. I think we'll have enough time if we keep working on it quickly, but we're getting very, very close, and we do not want this thing to hit our planetoid, because if it does, it was going to destroy this whole area, which is going to be a pretty bad day for everyone, especially for our Rex and our Dartles and our Lums, because that's where they live. So we're going to try our best to avoid that. Okay, so we have our setup here, and we can now see slime to phyto oil is 100 slime makes 70 phyto oil, 30 kilograms of dirt. Like, we could see that on the menu too. But we can get this rolling. So I have slime going. If we need to do... Let me put down the emulsifier, and then we'll look at that a little better. That's going to be under, I think, under refinement? Yes, so we need some refined metal in order to make that. We are still making refined metal using our rock crusher. So iron, we have 44 tons. Gold, we have 2 tons. Copper, we have 500. And nickel, we have 28 tons. So let's do iron. I'm just going to set it up to do 99 more recipes of that. Get some more. You know, I'm going to set this just for forever, because we're going to need the refined metal for our Blastshots as well. So we might as well have somebody getting started working on that. We're going to do that, and we're going to get emulsifier down. We'll get the Blashot maker down. And we'll get started on making these intracosmic Blastshots and start figuring out exactly how much we need in order to get this Demolior taken down. So I realized a problem that we were going to have, and that's that for our emulsifier, which is under utilities, no, under refinement. We need, on top of the refined metal, we need 100 kilograms of glass. To make glass, we need to do research into superheated forging, which I don't want to do. But fortunately, Interceptor has some glass tiles, so I'm going to cheese it and deconstruct some glass tiles so we have enough glass so we can build our emulsifier. I also am digging out slime down here. I did the math, and in total, we need to do 220 phyto oil transaction, which means we need 22 tons of slime. So I'm digging out all the slime we can find all around the map. So there's some there. There's some here. I thought there was another place I had looked. Oh, and there's some over here and in here. So we have enough places that I think we'll be able to get it. Oh, there's actually a big pocket over here that we could get into fairly easily, getting around this. This is still very hot in here, and so is all of this. So we would have to go in here and seal this up as we got it. But we could come in from the top to get that. But we're just going to work our way through and get as much slime as we can. And we'll get it turned into phyto oil using the plant pulverizer. I don't think we made a little bit, 270 kilograms so far. We're still working on getting the slime up there, getting the slime dug out. Now that we have the glass from this, we'll be able to go to refinement and put down an emulsifier. And we can put that up here in this room. So we're going to do it like this. So that means the emulsifier is going to need the biodiesel, so we can pump that straight in to here. Well, it's going to need the phyto oil to make the biodiesel, I should say. And then under stations, we're going to need the Blastshot maker. We're going to put that here. That way we can run the biodiesel straight into it. And we should, once we have power and all the plumbing set up, have a system that is working to make what we need. So we can start finally getting some of these made. We have 74 cycles left until this giant asteroid slams into us. So we're going to keep working on getting this all set up, collecting slime, and keeping that going. Hopefully our food supplies will will last out so that we can get that taken care of before we have too many problems. It took us a minute to get everything here set up and working. I had to add in a reservoir so that the emulsifier could make the biodiesel, because otherwise it would just sit there and wait until this was done, which takes a long time. So everything here is high priority now. So we are making intracosmic Blastshot, and I'm also going to set this to a high priority so that as soon as we have them, we can get them launched. The destination set, so as soon as one is loaded in here, it should fire off, and we can continually deliver shots to the incoming asteroid. We have 70 cycles left until we are toast. So I think it's plenty of time to do it if we can get all of our rockets launched. I think 96 should do it. So if we can get them there in time, we should have no problem. But it's just a continuous matter of running all these machines until that happens. going forward. So we have a lot of duplicates. They have time to handle it. So we're bringing up slime. We're punching it into phyto oil. Phyto oil is getting sent into here. It is being combined with bleach stone to make biodiesel, which is stored in this tank, which is then run into here. And we are combining biodiesel with fertilizer and iron to make the intracosmic blast shot so that we can take out the asteroid. So all we need to do is keep this working as long as we can to get it done. I think we have all the resources. We're still working on digging out some more slime, so that's what we're going to be focusing on now. That is what makes everything start here. Fertilizer, I think that we may be a little short on that as well, so we may have to look. Fertilizer, I think, would be under minerals, maybe? Or organic. But we'll have to see if we can dig up some fertilizer or make some fertilizer. We can also use peat for that, but I would prefer to save the peat for our fertilizers under agricultural. So let's look here. I'd rather save that for food processing. So maybe... I'm not sure where fertilizer would show up when it's on the map for us to dig out. But I know there is some. So we'll just have to keep digging around and finding everything we can. It is still kind of a mess and still chaos, but we're making it to the point where we can get these things launched. So far we have 2 more on their way. Still a lot needed before we're done. But we are doing the work. We are 1/10 of the way there. We have 900 health left on the asteroid, 69 cycles to go. So we're making progress. It's a little thrown together, a lot of parts that I was not quite ready to do. But you know, next time we do it, now I know the process, and we can focus on things a little more. I was trying to learn this entire new pack at the same time, so I give myself a little bit of leeway. I did find some areas where I have some fertilizer, as well as some more peat, so I'm digging those out. I'm also digging out the slime. I locked myself out of this area, which is where we're going in to get some more stuff. So we need to keep making sure we don't end up blocking ourselves off so that we can't get into things. Ooh. Also, I have messed this up because now this water is flowing out. Let's build this up and make an area where we can store this salt water. I'm going to build a ladder like that, and I'm just going to build a wall up. That way I don't have to worry about it. It'll be fine. They'll be able to get down in here, grab salt water when they need it. Salt water can continue to be pumped out and converted through the desalinator. These need emptied, so let's set them on a higher priority so somebody comes along to do them. I did cut off some of our oxygen or electrolyzers that are creating oxygen and hydrogen because we have plenty. So I just cut it down to 2. It's still actually more than we need at the moment. So we're fine. I'm running 10 duplicates, which means that this line that is feeding oxygen out should be fine because we're actually running out. Between what we're putting in the atmosuits and what we're putting in here, we're putting in way more than what the 10 duplicates will use. So with most of our people using atmosuits going out, then we shouldn't have any issues with that. A lot of little things going on around, but mostly we're just continuing on with our process of digging up everything that we need to get this system still running. And Bubbles is the one up here with the pyrotechnic abilities. She's just basically making shots as fast as she can and running them up and launching them. We still have 2 more going here, and we're just every cycle we're getting a couple more launched, which means we should get this asteroid down in more than enough time, assuming we don't run out of any of our supplies here. Done lots of digging, including up here in the base biome. There's lots of little bits of fertilizer, so I thought that was easier to get than to make it. So we have pretty much everything we need, I think, now. So I have 16 tons of slime left for processing that. Fertilizer, we still have 9 tons left. We only need to make 64 more blast shots, so they each use 100, so that's more than enough. So we just need to keep processing the slime into biodiesel, and continue to make the blast shots. I'm a little concerned on the time because we still need to do 64 more shots. We only have 58 cycles to do it. But now that we're done with everybody off doing digging and things like that, we can focus more on them actually operating the things. So we might be able to speed this process up. I think if I did this in the future, I probably would focus more on getting these things set up as major industries so that we could produce them faster and in larger quantities rather than cutting it so close. But for the first time ever attempting it, I think I'm doing pretty well. At least I have a shot at actually succeeding here, so I'm pretty happy with that. So there is some more stuff over here I could dig up if I need more, but I think we have enough. So, oh, you guys are stuck now, so we need to get back. Oh, that should do it. Kind of a little bit of micromanaging just because they're digging in areas with regolith, so things fall down and things like that. But I think that this is definitely going to be a situation where, because we're rushing to hit that deadline, at the end of it, we're going to have a base that's pretty sloppy and everything. And so when I do it again, where I'm trying to build a base from this, I probably will give it a lot more thought early on to planning things out so that I can focus on how we're going to do it. Also, this map, we got pretty lucky that we had the slime on it. I don't think every map in the prehistoric pack starts with that, though I'm not sure. It might be, the Relic Asteroid might always have that as an option, but if we didn't have that, we would have to do either do Seacomb Leaf to set up to get Phyto Oil, which I don't even think is possible in this map playthrough, or we would have had to get into Petroleum, which again, I think involves in this map going through the teleporter, setting up on another base to get oil so that we can make petroleum. So that would be a lot of challenge to do in the time that we have. So I'm pretty fortunate that this one worked out. I'm happy with it. We are probably just going to let things continue to go through for now. I don't want to focus on doing too many changes because I want my people to be able to just come up here and work on this and make sure we get that done. So I'm going to let them keep working, and hopefully we can get this asteroid destroyed before it destroys us. Progressing a little bit more, I decided I added in a second duplicant that has the pyrotechnics ability, which means that even while one is sleeping, the other one is working, which has helped quite a bit. So we now have the health of Demolior down to half, and we have 54 cycles to go, which means we launch on average at least one blast shot per cycle. We will take care of it before it gets to us. It is getting dangerously close, though. It is looming over us quite menacingly, but we have everything we need to get this finished. If we don't run into any problems, we should take it down. I wanted to note something that I just noticed. Somebody in a comment, Tosca Foresight, in one of my other videos commented that in the latest quality of life update, the mess tables were changed. So they are now assigned to public instead of assigned to a person, which means that based on my schedule, since I don't have more than 3, I could get away with only having 3 tables in here. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. I'm going to drop it down to 4 and give that a shot, see what happens, see if they sit at different tables, which makes more sense. I always thought that would have been a better way to handle things, but that I didn't even notice it when it was in the patch notes, so that'll be pretty cool for that to work, and we can see that happening. It's pretty neat to just look up and see Demolior taking shots every few seconds, which is great. We're really plugging away at it now. We just have a little ways to go before we'll get this finished, and hopefully power holds out, and so do our supplies, and we can actually take this thing down. We're doing some more exploration to get some more slime. I think I have enough, but I'm basically waiting for blast shots to get made, so figured I'd explore the rest of the map while we did it. And finally found places where we have some seacomb, which we could also use to make phyto oil. There's actually quite a bit of it in here, so if I needed that, I could definitely just crack in there to grab that. I'm not going to worry about it at this point because we are very, very close to being done with this. I did notice that this one Blashot. It's just sitting here, and it says it's 10 more cycles till interception. Um, that's odd. I think it must be a bug. So I think that for whatever reason, this Blashot thinks the or asteroid is this square, so it's waiting for it. And 10.8 more cycles when this asteroid moves to this cycle, then they'll intercept. But it's odd. It's just been sitting there. We're still plugging away at this. We're down to 25 more shots that we need, and we're making them just as quick as we can. Still get everything delivered and get everything made, but people are all working diligently getting it done. The Seacomb would probably be a route that would help us do this a little faster without having to do quite all the exploration. If you happen to have a map where that was available. I don't know if I had any in some of these other spots, and maybe it got eaten by the Pacus or something, but in all the other spots I looked, I couldn't find any. And, oh, there's some up here, and I just didn't notice it. They also come in the areas where the nits are, which I didn't really want to deal with. So, maybe that's probably why I didn't see them. I was busy looking at that. Who knows? But I could have gotten them up there. There's some more up this way as well. They're here. It looks like it's the rooms where the jawbow and nits and the Laura plants are, where you have. So, next time I play through, I'll probably get in and tackle that, because then I can just set up a farm to grow these, make it go that much faster and larger production. That way we can just nail the asteroid much, much faster. So, definitely better way. Definitely there are better ways to do it than this way, but we are going to get it done. This starvation is just because the routes are so long, because of having to go all over the place. Yeah, so we're doing okay. Just like I said, I have 25 more shots to manufacture. They're on their way doing it. So, I'll come back once we get closer to the end here. We have just launched our last intercosmic Blastshot. On its way. Technically, we only need one more hit. This one, they hit in 1.6 cycles, but I shoot up another one to make sure, because this one has been sitting here the whole time. I'm probably, like most bugs in this game, if I reload it, it probably sits out. But, we're just sending another Blashot. Wait 2 cycles until it hits, then we get to see what happens. And hopefully it means it just takes it down. I honestly don't know. I don't know what happened, to be completely honest, so just have to wait and see another 90 seconds. Okay, imperative achieved, last line of defense. Dominus. We blasted Demolior into oblivion. The colony is safe now. Among the impactor's remains, identified several useful resources, as well as a small, familiar object. How did such a thing find its way into an inhabited asteroid? I've always hoped the other worlds existed. Perhaps they do it. We are more alike than I ever imagined. There is so much we have yet to discover. Okay. So, that's the first time we ever got that achievement finished, which is pretty awesome. Let's take a look and see what things look like now. Like we're gonna have a meteor storm. We did have a meteor storm that came in right as we were working on building the Blastshot, and I was worried it was going to stop us from getting finished. There is a stereo scope, so it gave us an artifact for that. How long is the meteor shower gonna last? It's 6 more seconds. Too bad. Oh, and we have debris here, so we can go out here and collect granite, mafic rock, gold, iridium. Iridium's in 1A. That's pretty cool. And that rocket, that blast shot that was heading there is just gone now, so that's cool. Let's check out. We got somebody trapped. What happened there? Same fell while they were get that fixed real quick so they don't suffocate in here. So as far as this goes, I think that this was definitely not the best way to take down Demolior, but it did work. We managed to get it done. There's definitely in my next run where there's some more things we can do to make it faster. One of them is getting to the sea comb earlier so that we can get more phyto oil. But there's definitely a lot of different things to change up. But I learned a lot about a lot of the different critters on this playthrough. And a lot of them are fun. I like these overgrow vine. It seems like they grow really, really big. I want to try to do some experimentation with that to see. And I know that they can actually grow like down off of ledges and stuff. So there's probably some much more interesting designs we can do with hanging vines, things like that. The lums are a lot of fun. The plant mechanics with pollination it's kind of an interesting new challenge, but I like it. I like how you can also, aside from the plants that need pollination, you can also pollinate other plants. Pollinating these to make it grow a little faster, even though they don't need pollination. I think it gives them an extra 5% boost. 25%. So, let's check and see if that's the same up here. Yeah, 25% of faster growth because of being pollinated by the Mimica. So that's a pretty cool mechanic to have in the game. We didn't get to all of the critters in this playthrough. There's still the mechanics with the Laura plants, with the nits, and then we have the Dawbos, which are kind of like the Rex, I should say, where they feed off the Paku, which is an interesting mechanic. I'm definitely going to be looking forward to setting up some systems where we feed critters to those instead of our normal methods for disposing of them. It could be very interesting. And you know, in general, that was a lot of fun. I think that doing the mechanic of the pending asteroid was done really well, and I enjoyed that a lot. So my next playthrough, I'll probably, the Prehistoric pack, I'll probably do that again, see if I can do it in a way that's a little more efficient. But we've done what we set out to achieve today. We finished everything here. And so we're going to call it quits for this mini-series. We're working our way up to do the different DLCs because I want to do a playthrough that includes all of them. And I've decided that doing each of the DLCs in a little mini-series first is a better way to do it. So I can kind of get familiar with them before I try to tackle everything all at once. So I still have the Bionic Booster Pack to play around with. I've done it a little bit before, but not much. And I haven't done anything with the Frosty Planet Pack playthrough yet either. So those are both coming up, as well as I want to work on some more tutorial-based stuff. Sure. So subscribe if you want to see any more of that. And thanks for watching this far, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.